on your face, you've been on my mind. Let me take you to a place where music saturates the atmosphere. There's magic there. Hey, and the band plays on and on and on and on. Its favorite song, producing all night long. And the band plays on and on and on and on. Till crack of dawn, producing all night long. And the band plays on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's been a long night, couple hours more till the sunlight. Can't remember why I went, just everyone just dreamed to win. Salute my friends. It's been a long time since I held you close, but you're chained to mine. Remembering that love you so much more, but still for someone you adore. Calling on God, hey, and the band plays on and on and on and on. Its favorite song, we're dancing all night long. And the band plays on and on and on and on. Till crack of dawn, we're dancing all night long. And the band plays on and on and on and on. it will be that the sun will set on our love, your love. You got skin like the sweetest of the berries, babe. And a woman breaks that would make a man fall in love. Never thought that I would be the one to stop the air, stop the air. So glad you won't slow down. And as our feet press against Mother Earth's cheek, I try to think of ways that I can get in front of your love. But you always seem to have the upper hand, upper hand. Sure that you don't fall down. You keep on running and I keep on chasing your love, Oh, so it will be that the sun will set on our love. You always talking about how you've been hurt before, and you can't imagine going through that hurt again. But I think the more you run, the more pain you cause, pain you cause. Running from your answer, they say better to have lost love than never to have loved at all. They say life without love is just like body without soul. So in a way, I guess we're two empty shells. Yeah. This lonely game, no one person will ever win. So you have to make a choice. Is it love? Oh, is it
Thank you.
When individual creativity unites to form a sonic fist in search of freedom, equity, and joy, you get Freelance. They're here to change the game and make sure we know that the labor of creativity is a valued light that can't be dimmed. This is B-Side, and I'm your host, Kenyatta Beasley, and we're going to get right into it. Welcome, Freelance, and can you tell us about this, your medley before we introduce the band members?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
That first song was, the song is called Band Plays On. It was actually our single.
Right.
We released it about a year ago.
You have a video of that.
We got a music video for it as well, yeah. So, yeah, that's been an amazing song to perform, to create, and then also like just to see, you know, the effect that it has on people. It's been amazing for us. I'm gonna let actually Ausar The Ambassador to talk about the second song.
Oh yeah, Your Love. That's what you guys just heard. It's a journey, and that's the whole purpose of the song. Is pretty much about, you know, a man, you know, pursuing a woman but getting curved in parallel universes. It's like it's in Africa and he's getting curved in New York.
Okay.
Like, you know, like yeah. Yeah.
So no matter what happens, you're gonna get curved.
Yeah, you know, but he's still pursuing.
And the result is still the same.
Yeah, it's still a journey. It's still a journey, you know. So here we are now, you know.
Yeah, it sounds a little darker than it actually is.
It's life.
We got a music video coming up for that one as well.
Okay.
So definitely look out for that. Yeah, that'll be the second single from our album. We have an album called Yesterday. If you look at his T-shirt is actually the album cover.
Pianist and model.
Right.
Stop.
You know, so that's the album cover, and yeah, that's available to be streamed and downloaded on all platforms.
All right, so can you introduce the band for us?
Yeah, sure. Just gonna start on my right. This is Craig Hill playing saxophone.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
From Dayton, Ohio. You know, he's from Ohio, so he's not feeling too good about what's happening. But you know, he's doing all right though. It's all good.
That wasn't right. Man.
Hey, look, there's still time.
That wasn't right.
Then we have Ausar Tejeda. He's from the Dominican Republic. You know, giving us all those Afro-Dominican vibes. Now we have Justin Tyson on drums.
Say something.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, and next we have a guest with us performing. His name is Josh Hari, and playing bass. We're very happy to have him on bass. He's amazing, just stepping in and just learning our music. Our music is not easy to learn, so we appreciate him being here and yeah, giving his energy. And last but definitely not least is our musical director, Ausar The Ambassador. And he and I actually write a lot of the songs together, and yeah, he's a big part of the reason why we are where we are. And my name is Smithsonian.
So the band, if I'm not mistaken, everybody met at Berkeley up in Boston.
Yep, that's right.
Seeing that, usually when you go to a school of music, it's usually about the individual. And everybody's trying to get their own voice and whatever form of creativity that they're trying to express. And it's very rare that you see people stick together after graduation and become a band. So, I mean, how did you guys like start to vibe out in Berkeley?
Yeah.
When you got there?
Pretty much, we're all homies outside of music. And
Right.
that's pretty much how it happens. You know, I think that honestly, your music is a reflection of who you are and like who you are socially. You know, so you know, we just kind of vibe out on sports and a lot of different things. We play ball together. I be like, you know, busting their tail in ball. So after rehearsal, that kind of like, you know, they add extra energy during the rehearsal because of what I did on the court. So it's just like it all.
Well, you know, I almost want to say, man, either you like the LeBron or Kevin Durant, but we're gonna go with Kevin Durant at this point.
Oh no. Yeah.
Sorry,
I got you know, I got to rock with my man Kev. I guess I got to rock with my man Kev for now. But yeah, seriously though, like socially, we all just kind of get along, and
Right.
it just kind of works out musically as well. You know, so. Pretty much it.
So were you guys gigging in Boston, or was it just like, hey, let's find a room and let's just vibe out some songs, or how did it all come together?
So we actually started, we started separately because I actually went to Berkeley for drums.
Okay.
And then after I left Berkeley, I began to like, life starts life in, and it's, it starts getting real, hard. So I was like, you know what, let me see if I can, pull anything out of my bag, So I was like, okay, let me develop my singing a little bit, and I came out with a project called Dimensions. And after that, Chad heard it, and he was like, yo, we got to do something like together, because he had a band of all instrumentalists. So we decided to put them together, and we started doing this this weekly event in Cambridge, this place called East Meets West. Shout out to them. They pretty much gave us our start. That's where we were able to kind of like, cultivate the sound and like, just, put everything together. And yeah, from there, we all kind of, one by one started moving to New York. And then by the time we got to New York, we came up with the name Freelance, and now we're here.
So when you guys moved to New York, you guys made the collective decision to say, hey, let's do a band concept, because usually everybody wants to go there, like I said before, their own different way, and I'm a star.
Well, the cool thing is that we actually all are still playing with other artists. Like, that's what makes this band so crazy, is that, individually, we're all still like, making moves and, playing with amazing artists, but we come together for this sound because this is our music. This is something that we're passionate about. And that's special to us. Like, just being able to, go in and, create something that's real to us and authentically, our message and our sound. Right. So yeah.
And we also want to, through what we're doing, and there's a lot of other bands, and we want to encourage other musicians to, form groups and form, alliances with the homies and kind of cultivate something. Because, like you said, New York can kind of be a little bit
it's very much about the individual.
Yeah, individual grind.
Well, I mean, speaking of, as you guys have moved to New York, from Boston down, I mean, how has New York influenced, the music that you write and your concept?
Honestly, a lot of the songs that I've written for this project were influenced by the shows that I would go to. When I first moved here, that's all I did. The first year is just like go and support, a lot. I call New York Berkeley 2.0, because it's like all the students, they either go to New York, they go to LA. Yeah, exactly. So there's so many Berkeley students here, and they're all like building their careers. So I would go and check them out, and they're amazing. Like so I would go and get influenced and inspired, and go home and write a song. Like what I mean? Like so for me, it was less about a competition, and more about like it was beautiful. Like for me to see like my peers like all kind of rising up, and like we're kind of rising up together. It's more of a community than anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, man, having gone to the new school, a lot of guys I went to school with, like Robert Glasper and Marcus Strickland, we're all like real tight to this day, because that's our. And I'm seeing that you guys have this sense of community, and it's really reflective in your sound. Yeah. So with that being said, can you set up the next medley that you're gonna deliver for our audience?
Yeah. So the next medley is a medley of two songs. It's Infinite People, which is actually not on the records. It's a newer song, but we love it, so we wanted to do it. And then the second song is Why Wait, which is on the record, and is basically just a call to action, for people to just be aware of what's happening in today's society. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Awesome. Once again, Freelance.
To free your minds, we are divine. We stand for truth. Our spirits shine beyond our time. So when I'm gone, I'm still with you. The secret of life, have no fear. infinite people. The flesh is weak, eternal souls. Why choose belief when you can know? Call on Buddha, call on oh God, help manifest the God in you. So that I know the secret of life is have no failure, 'cause we are infinite people. Cause we are infinite people. Know who you Don't need your Oscars, don't need your Grammys, don't need your payday. Please understand me, see, I'm not waiting for your validation like Jada anticipating our own nation like Chinatown. You York, uptown, I see black culture, but no black stars. Then gentrifying, colonizing, capitalizing. I hope you're recognizing. So why wait for them to give us freedom? We do for ourselves. We don't need them. And why wait for them? We have the power. Hey, we have the power within the black dollar. See our hands, giving us the answer. Hey. Look to the sun, look to the stars, and soon you'll find just who we are. We are kings, and she's a queen. It ain't our purpose to settle for second string. So why wait for them? Hit it further when they're killing our children. They poison our water. And why wait when we can unify? See, we don't die. Black spirits, we multiply. See our answers. Oh, giving us the answers. Yeah, see our answers. Oh, giving us the answers. See our answers. Oh, giving us the answers. Won't see our answers. Oh, giving us the answers. See, why wait? Why wait for them? Why wait? See, why wait for them? See, why wait? Why wait for them? Why wait? Why wait? Hey, why wait for them? 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 See, we don't need them. Nah, see, we don't need them. Listen, see, why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Listen, see, why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Listen, why wait? Why wait? Why wait? Listen, see, why wait? See, why wait? Why wait? Why See, we don't die like spirits, we multiply. Thank you.
So, with the band, with musicianship on this high of a level, this is a question that's I was thinking about as you were playing. Who are your biggest influences, and what how do they influence the band's sound, in your opinions?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of influence. And what we pretty much represent is pretty much a combination of all different, like, modern influences, old school influences, So I think that I'm not getting straight to the answer. I just want to make sure I give some context that each musician in the band has a different background.
Right.
So everybody has different influences. You know, like Justin, he has a heavy church influence. Even though that's not epitome of what he is, but he has a heavy church background. Yeah, so he's an Afro-Latino. He's from the Dominican Republic, and he brings a different kind of vibe. You know, Craig. This dude was on Apollo when he was 9 playing Coltrane licks, playing like Smithsonian. He has a heavy like kind of Bobby McFerrin type of vocal type of thing. So I think that's one great thing about the band. There's no one person that we can honestly say. Everybody has their own individual influences,
right,
and they bring it to the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, a big person is Stevie Wonder. For me, especially the way he used his vintage instruments back in the 70s. I thought it was absolutely incredible because nobody was doing that during that time.
Right.
Somebody like Jay Dilla is a heavy, which this song that we just did, saying was a Jay Dilla joint. So it's a big influence, but that's like a more modern, influence for us. So it's a large question for us.
Right.
I believe that pretty much when you hear our music, you're gonna hear everything.
Right.
You're gonna hear everything you need to hear.
Well, one thing that you guys have in common, it's definitely a message of social justice and change. Can you and that's embedded in your music. So can you tell us more about that?
It's important for us for our music to reflect our lives. Like we're in the lyrics we're speaking about things that we encounter. So. Unfortunately, a song like "Why Wait" is necessary, because there's still a lot going on. A lot of things that, as a black man, I know that I have to, be concerned about and worried about. And and then also just us as Americans that we should be concerned about because we're all living here. So whenever I'm writing a song, like I definitely want it to enrich the community. I want it to enrich, this country. Like, I want to make sure that, it's not doing any harm, or it's not like, I want it to be honest and true and authentic to who I am and my experiences. And I just hope that people can get down with it and resonate, and that it resonates.
So, the message of social justice, the sound of the band, is all this included in the your first album that's just been released?
Yeah. It's a heavy, but it's a heavy, I guess, socially, culturally important song. There is no separation from black music and the black struggle.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing. All of our idols, a lot of people like to take away from the socially conscious part, like James Brown. Everybody want to talk about the funk and stuff, but he's black and proud. Like Marvin Gaye wasn't just let's get it on. He was what's going on. So there's no real separation, between that. And within our music, it's not like we sit there and say, oh, let's create a socially justice song or something like that.
I was watching CNN today.
Right. Like literally.
Let's do 2 of those.
Right. Literally,
right.
We live this. Like it just comes out. Like I was watching during the Oscars So White, Jada Pinkett was talking about, hey, let's create our own Oscars and stuff like that. And through just living, like watching those kind of experiences, we was like, hey, that song just kind of came out of those kind of experiences.
Right.
So it's never a conscious thing. We're just living our lives.
Well, what's kind of tripped out about this entire thing is that with all the stuff that's happening now, that we're not hearing more musicians and artists come out with messages of social change. So when I hear it, it makes me feel, it makes me feel good and proud that we got musicians out here actually doing this. So with this, tell me more about the first album that you guys have just released.
Yeah, so the name of the album is Yes Today, and it's all related. Basically, this is our way of challenging people to say yes today to what they're passionate about. Say yes today to change. Like, if you see something that's not right in our world, like, do something about it. Like, make some noise. There's a lot of people just kind of living their lives and just kind of like, like tunnel vision and not paying attention to what's going on around them, or even if they see it, they just don't do anything about it. Like, and it's like, nah, like we all live here. Let's make some noise. Let's create some change. Let's say yes today to the world that we want to see tomorrow. So that's really where the album's coming from. It's also coming from a place of us, like, you know, for us, like, you know, personally, it's saying yes to what we're passionate about, like saying yes to the style of music that we want to play. Like, you know, the style of music that we're playing is not necessarily something that you're gonna hear on the radio, like maybe on like, you know, Kiss FM or like, you know, any other
And you're fine with that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because honestly, there are markets for our music, and you know, our music is for those, you know, for those people, like, you know, and we would hope that anyone would be able to listen to our music and be like, yeah, like that's dope. But for us, it's not necessarily about like, you know, trying to please specific people. It's about us being authentic and us, you know, playing music that we're passionate about, and yeah, like, you know, and making a career and a business around it. You know, just being entrepreneurs. Like, I feel like this is the age of being a freelance whatever. Like, you know, you could be a freelance photographer. Like, you know, a lot of people are just taking things into their own hands and just, you know, being entrepreneurs. And I support that, you know, 100%.
Dope. So what I want to talk more about how you guys came together to put this first record together. But in the meantime, can you set up the next song, because people want to hear more playing than talking.
Got it. Yeah, so this next song was actually written by Ausar, and it's called Odyssey. And it's actually the song that's been doing the best, like, you know, on Spotify, you know, which, you know, is crazy to us because it's like, this song is like straight up, like 70s Herbie Hancock meets like Weather Report meets, like, it's like a bunch of like different sounds. I'm like, I love that people are getting down with it, so.
Heavy. Once again, Freelance.
With an odyssey in mind, the excitement of seeing but feeling so blind. The more I grow, the more I see, the more I realize searching. searching, 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 searching. Yeah, I'm searching, 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 searching. Through all this odyssey, yeah, yeah. Still searching now.
So you guys also have a residency at New Blue?
Yeah, so we've been doing a monthly
Which one? The
residency.
one that's the new one? Or
The new one, so New Blue 151.
Right, right.
And it's a beautiful space.
It is.
I fell in love with it the moment I went in there. It's
Yeah.
got like these stairs that go up, and there's like a bar behind the stage, so people can watch from behind, and it's just a really cool layout.
So have you guys been like augmenting your following through this residency, working stuff out?
Yeah, we've come a long way. Like, you know, when we first started doing shows, like, you know, I remember there's actually a couple people in, you know, here tonight that have been with us since the beginning, and it was bleak, you know, playing, playing for like maybe 10, 15 people, but we're blessed to have been able to, like, you know, build the following and the buzz. So we just did our album release party, and it was packed. Like, you know, I think New Blue holds like 200 people.
It's a small. It's a small.
Yeah, but you know, it was pretty much sold out, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. So the new record, where can we find the record? On what platforms?
Everywhere. So iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, all the streaming platforms, and you can buy it. You know, we also have like physical copies that are available. So yeah.
So are we planning a tour behind this soon, or can
Soon.
we find Freelance on the road?
Definitely soon, definitely soon. Nothing set up quite yet. We're going to continue to do the New Blue residency. So definitely look on our Instagram and Facebook @Follow Freelance to see when our next show is going to be. But yeah, definitely going to be taking this across the country and definitely all over the world.
Dope. So we're running out of time because usually when we do B-sides, it seems like it's a long time, but time's running out.
Yeah.
So can you set up the next song?
Sure. So the next song is actually the album title. The song's called Yesterday, and yeah, hope you enjoy.
Second to last song. All right.
Oh yeah, second to last song. Got it.
Freelance once again.
Yeah. Called your phone, prayed to God that you wouldn't pick up. With every ring, I died a little. But there you were on the line like I knew you would. Here goes nothing, let me say my piece. Oh. Let me say my piece. A little small talk, how you been, what you doing? I know today love is gone, but I remember love yesterday. Say yesterday to love. Oh, let's move the past out of presence way. Say yesterday. Hello, say something, let me know you're still there. I don't mean to catch you off guard, no. But lately I look around, the world don't look the same. My pleasure feels a lot like pain. Baby, tell me, do you feel the same? Oh, I know today love is gone, but I remember love yesterday. Oh, yeah, let's move the past out of present way. Oh, remember love yesterday. Say yesterday to love. Let's move the past out of present way. Yesterday to love. There's already enough hurt in this world, but now it's making it worse. See, I remember yesterday. Say yesterday. Say, take a second, think about what we had. We can turn it all around with just 3 little words. Girl, you know that I love you, baby. I remember yesterday. Say yesterday. Oh, thank you.
Freelance, thank you for giving your version of freedom. I hate to see you go, but as with all great things, we're left wanting more. Be sure to check out Freelance's new album, Yesterday, wherever you buy or stream music. And you can keep up with Freelance on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Follow Freelance. I'm Kenyatta Beasley, and I hope that you had a spectacular time with us tonight. Make sure you stop by our BRIC House studio every Thursday to hear more of the best music that Brooklyn has to offer. You can also check out tonight's installments and past episodes anytime at youtube.com/BRICTV, or check out our BRIC Radio podcast of this episode at soundcloud.com/BRICradio. Freelance, right after this, take us out with one more song. Word. much hate, and all that love's become is an action of lust, so fast-paced.
When will we free ourselves? Let it go without a trace. It doesn't look good for us anymore. Searching for the light, the end eternal. Living in a world of so much doubt, deciphering between the truth and the lies we all spit out. Our differences of few, and we're traveling the same route. So take my hand, it's not too late for us. I can see the light, the end eternal. Just not clear. One thing I know for sure is we all belong here. So take my hand, it's not too late for us. I can see the light, the end eternal. I still got hope. I still got Come on, say that with me.